But I got to tell you something, just as a side note, because I don't want to be political every second, just 98% of the time. I woke up this morning at dawn. I hardly slept. I don't sleep very well when I travel. Time is all off. I woke up 5 a.m. local, which is 2 a.m. California time, of course. I couldn't sleep, so I figured, all right, you're better off getting up than laying in bed thrashing with the hair falling out of your head on the pillow. It's an old rule I learned when I had insomnia. I said, get up. You can't sleep. You're not tired. That's all. What are you worried about? You lay in bed worrying about sleeping, you'll have a heart attack. So get up. I got up and watched the dawn rise. I'm not a big watching the dawn rise guy. I know Hemingway did that. He never missed a dawn in his life. Of course, he shot his brains out one day. I don't know, maybe he could have used a little sleep. That's not a put down, but I'm saying maybe if he stayed in bed a little bit or went up and relieved himself and went back to sleep for 2 hours, he maybe still be with us. But nevertheless, so normally I go back to sleep. I got up and watched the dawn rise over the Atlantic Ocean. You know that I got on my knees and I prayed to God for the first time in over a year? I couldn't believe the beauty that God had created. I know Obama didn't create it. That's one thing. You say, well, how do you know God exists? Well, I didn't think Obama created the Atlantic Ocean and the beauty. I didn't think that what I'm saying is, who created it? You? So someone created it. An entity created it. So whoever it was, whatever the entity was, and I assume it was God, and I assume he looks like a guy in the phone book in the Bronx in the 1940s with a long tail. I don't know what he looks like, really. I pray to God there was no sarcasm at the moment. You know that I had no sarcasm at dawn today? I was awed by the sunrise, just like I was swept away by it. Do you ever get swept away by nature? I heard a little bird tweeting in the bushes, the first bird of the day, and I recognized an East Coast bird sound. Because I live on the West Coast, the birds are all different. They don't even talk English. They don't even tweet English on the West Coast. I don't understand them. I still remember the birds from the East Coast, and they're migrating. They hate the cold, and they're miserable. They can't go home. They're on their way back from South America. They stopped in Florida. They wanted to get back. They heard it was cold through the bird vine, and they said, what, are you crazy? I'm going to go back now. I'll stay here another few weeks. It'll be over. You'll see. Who asked you to stay? There's no room for you. They're here. I heard the birds, the same ones I used to hear when I was a kid in New York. They're on the way back north, but the weather's so horrible. Speaking of nature, I'll get back to politics in a minute. Seashells. You want to hear about seashells? You ready for this? You can't do anything anymore without feeling guilty. A simple thing like picking up seashells on the beach, right? You'd say nothing simpler. I think I'll collect shells. I want to bring them home. Can't. Someone I respect very much and knows more about everything than me said, Dad, I learned recently that if you collect seashells, you're denying an animal a home. I said, come on. He says, what are you talking about? They abandon those shells. And he said, no, they don't. He said, they abandon them when they outgrow them. And another creature inhabits the shell that is waiting for them on the beach. So I said, well, what does the animal do that abandon the shell? They go look for a bigger one. So I said, wow, so you mean even on a shell level, even a seashell level, there people are fighting over turf and housing, like homeless seashells? I mean, that's what it came to. It was like homelessness on this. The whole world hits you in the eye and you realize something. It ties right into with the Israel thing. Every aspect of life is a struggle. Every aspect of your life is a struggle, is it not? I don't care if you're running a bagel store in Biloxi. You're competing with a supermarket who's selling bagels, right? Whatever you're doing on earth, you're going to have competition. And the only people who lie to you are the communists who say that we should have no competition, that everyone should make a living, everyone should have a house, everyone should have a Prius, everyone should have a telephone, everyone should have an Obama toupee, everyone should have medical care, false teeth from Obama, crutches from Obama, wheelchairs from Obama, AIDS treatments from Obama, breast implants from Obama. Whatever you need, Obama will provide it because he's a good man. He's a fair man. Of course, that's a lie because it comes from someone else. It comes from the people who pay for it. So even a seashell can teach you reality if your eyes are open. But it's tough to look at things as they are. I admit it. You got to admit it's very tough to look at reality because if you can't even collect the seashell on the beach anymore, what's left? I know what's left. The minute the show is over, I'm opening a bottle of white wine. I'm going on the beach and I'm going to watch the sunset. And I'm not going to collect the seashell this time. I will not do it. And so you look at the Middle East. What is that about? It's about organisms called Palestinians and organisms called Jews fighting over a seashell called Israel. Is it not? Is it not exactly that? They both want the same seashell. Now, how does that end? I don't know. No one can figure it out. If it could be figured out reasonably, fairly, and decently, it would have been done by now. I don't know if this problem is soluble. I really don't. And I don't know that there's a solution. Doesn't mean there isn't one. Maybe one day the lamb shall lie down with the lion. Maybe one day a great man will come along who can make peace on earth. Maybe one day someone can come along who can unify the madness of mankind. I don't know. But we haven't seen that man arise yet on this planet in our earth. In our time. See what I'm saying? So until that time comes, and many of you believe it will come when your belief in your Lord comes back and makes peace on earth. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But until that time comes, there's only room apparently for one people in a seashell at a time. Because the two can't get along, can they? And that's the story of the world in a seashell.